Hi everybody, it's James here from the Anvil. I hope everybody's doing really well. This is my preview for Manchester United versus West Ham United on Saturday, in a game where West Ham needs to get back on track and avoid back-to-back losses, whereas Manchester United's looking to make it 2 wins on the bounce if they manage to beat West Ham on Saturday as well. I'm just going to say this from the start. I watched Man United's game against Brentford, and although the scoreline was a 3-1 win to the away side, I wasn't fully convinced by the Man United performance, rather. I was a bit disinterested at times, shall we say. It was a bit average, really. I mean, it was against Brentford, a lower opposition. But the fact is, I noticed that United struggled a lot in that game. The first half, Brentford had about 6 chances in quick succession. And the only real saving grace was David De Gea being back at his world-class best to keep United score at 0-0 at that point in the game. So that was the only real thing that went well for them. I think, we've played them twice already this season, beat them in the League Cup. We narrowly lost to them in the league in a game which Mark Noble missed a last-minute penalty. And this time we're playing at a decent time, really, because I know they're going to be out with quite a few players. Unfortunately, and I have to point this out, Lindelof will not be available for selection. He's got to be with his family after the house was broken into, and he's got to be there for his wife and children, so he won't be playing. Apparently, Ronaldo's a doubt for the game. And players such as Pogba and Wan-Bissaka, I read, could be a doubt as well. I just looked at that game on Wednesday and I thought, if we don't beat this Man United team, then I swear, what is wrong? What is wrong? Let me talk about them in a nutshell for this season. Transfer window, Man United did spend big and had some big news. Jadon Sancho joined for a pretty large fee. He joined the club for 85 million euros, which is roughly around 72, 73 million pounds. Rafael Varane joined for an undisclosed fee, and Cristiano Ronaldo returned to Manchester United 12 years after he left for Real Madrid for a then world record fee. Ronaldo's return to Manchester got all the United fans excited. I know he scored against us at the London Stadium, but everybody had dreamed of seeing him come back to Old Trafford, and that dream came true. Sancho, on the other hand, big talent in Germany. I think he should have stayed there, because he's come over to England and he has flopped. Everyone was talking about Ben White being worth £50 million and flopping at Arsenal. Actually, he's been class for them. It's Sancho that's flopped this season. He's been so poor in that team. Varane actually has been decent, if you want to talk about new signings. And I actually think Varane's a good player. But still, Sancho, man, that's a big talking point. He has been a massive flop. United actually had a pretty decent start to the season. We're unbeaten in the opening 5. And we're 3rd in the league on September the 19th. But after losing 5 out of 7 games, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was fired and replaced by German Ralf Rangnick. The last game for Solskjaer was a 4-1 away defeat to Watford, in which Donny van den Beek, i.e. the guy that gets frozen out of the United team, scored a goal. How he's been treated by Solskjaer was just wrong and unfair. I don't know what Donny's done wrong, but he just never got played under Solskjaer. Now, when Rangnick came in, I must admit that was a surprise appointment. He wasn't a name that was heavily linked with the club, but a lot of fans welcomed him because he's considered the founding father of modern German football, as well as a major influence for head coaches such as Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Tuchel. Apparently he invented the gegenpressing system. And in that first game against Crystal Palace, which was Rangnick's first game in charge, he made Man United play pressing football and energetic football. And it worked. 3 wins in a row followed. 2 consecutive clean sheets. Since he became manager, Man United's actually only lost once in the league. So he definitely has changed things up in a way, but I still don't think this United team's the perfect puzzle. They need to do a massive rebuild still. It doesn't matter how much money they're spending, they need to do a massive rebuild. What is lacking is the midfield and the attack. The only real decent midfielder they got is Bruno Fernandes. On the wings, it keeps mixing and matching. I said Sancho wasn't good enough. Rashford's been a bit poor this season, and Greenwood's someone I would personally start. Up top, I mean, Cristiano's not been great in his last few games. Martial's been a public enemy of United fans and hasn't been highly rated over the years. He's faced a lot of criticism for poor performances. And Cavani, well, I'm not sure what's happened with him. He's still with them, but I haven't heard a lot of him as of recently. So they need a massive overhaul. And with Rangnick in charge, things have improved results-wise, but the performances aren't necessarily the best. That Brentford game was a highlight of that. The fact that they were absolutely getting mullered in the first half and have nothing to show for was worrying. So if Brentford can do that, West Ham can do that, in my opinion. As for the three players that are my ones to watch, I mentioned him already, David De Gea, because I think he's back at his world-class best and being back to being the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Made some fantastic saves in that game against Brentford and put in a real man-of-the-match performance. Look, quality goalkeeper, even if he has had his inconsistencies over the years, he's still a quality goalkeeper. Someone that I do like a lot. He's been at United now for a very long time, and he's done a really decent job in goal. A lot of fans like him, but he does have his up and downs as well. Second player, Mason Greenwood, because I think he's looked really good when he's come off the bench. He's looked good attacking-wise. And he likes to score or assist against us. He did so 2 seasons ago. He did so last season. Good player as well. I like Greenwood. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. Someone who should be starting a lot more in the Man United team. Third player I'm going to talk about is what I would consider their biggest threat, Bruno Fernandes. I consider him their go-to guy on the team because he does it all. Playmaking, leadership, creativity, technical skill, dribbling, long-range strikes, free kick specialist, set-piece specialist, penalty taker. Bruno Fernandes is a perfect midfielder. And United are really lucky to have him. He's so good. Like him a lot. Last season, he was pretty much scoring a goal every 2 games if you look at the ratio. This season, he hasn't done quite the same, but he's still had a massive impact on the team. Good assister, good scorer, good midfield presence in the starting 11. And as well as that, he is one of the best midfielders in the world. As for a player who played for both, I really struggled to find out who I wanted to pick, but in the end, I chose Teddy Sheringham. Now, Sheringham had quite a late start to life in the Premier League, and his best years came, I would say, towards the end of his career. Having started off his career at Millwall, he made 220 appearances for the Lions and then joined Nottingham Forest in 1991. 1 season later, he joined Tottenham Hotspur and spent 5 years in North London and left in 1997. He joined Manchester United, where he made 104 appearances and scored 31 goals. And then in 2001, he rejoined Tottenham for 2 more years. In the later stages of his career, he played for Portsmouth, West Ham United and Colchester United. He retired at the age of 42 in the year 2008. As a manager, he has managed Stevenage and he's also gone abroad. He managed ATK, a former professional football club based in Kolkata, India. His son Charlie also followed in his father's footsteps and became a striker, mainly playing at non-league level. As for my score prediction, well, I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Because, like I said, Brentford nearly broke down that team. If we can press United and find a way to break through, and I don't think breaking through their defence is that bad. I did say earlier their defence was a bit of a good last line and the really strongest component of their team, but it's still got its flaws. Harry Maguire, everyone talks about him being worth 80 million and wasting money. I won't go on to that and go off on a tangent, but he's not been worth that, and he's not the best defender in the Premier League, in my opinion, despite what people think. There's inconsistencies as to who starts as fullbacks. Is it Wan-Bissaka, Darlow? Alex Tellez. That keeps getting mixed and matched. So I don't really know who they're going to put out. But at the same time, we need to press United. I think and I said this on Devils United when I spoke to Maisie. I said to her that we might counter-attack them if we have enough space. And it'll usually come right off of us getting possession back. We'll like to do what Ralf Rangnick installed in those German managers and press immediately after we get the possession back. So, I'm not sure what we can do. We might have to go 5 at the back and grind out our results. Depends if Zuma's back in time or not. But 4 at the back wouldn't be a bad thing either. But I can see a 1-1 draw to answer that little segment of this video because I fancy my chances. Thank you very much for watching this Opposition Uncovered. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all soon.